This mod, by yours truly, allows you to drive in the snow in the F1 25 game. What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now first of all, happy holidays to you all. I hope you're all having some time to relax over this festive period and to spend time with your loved ones. But as an F1 curator, it is my job to entertain you guys as much as possible. And considering it's Christmas Day, I think it can only mean one thing, you know, F1 cars in the snow. I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it? So I've modded the F1 25 game, 3 circuits in fact, Suzuka, Spa and Montreal. We're going to drive round in a 3-lap sprint race to see how chaotic it is. Yep, due to the power of modding, these things are possible. Unfortunately for you guys at the moment, this mod is not public. I have done this myself, and it's very difficult to get all the files into place to make this mod public. I'll keep looking into it to see if I can do something about it, but I'll try and make the mod public as soon as I can. But for the time being it will be private. So yeah, that is a sight you normally don't see on the F1 game, because you're normally just used to driving in, well, normal conditions or wet. Snow is not really an option because it never does snow in F1 due to obviously the season starting at a certain point of the year. But yeah, this is pretty much what it would look like if F1 cars were driving in the snow. I mean, obviously it doesn't help we're driving on slicks here, because that just makes life so much harder. As you can see there, that was some save that. I don't know how I managed to save that, but it's so tricky conditions, you know, like the grip is low. Obviously we've made the grip very low for this mod, because I mean, obviously if it was snowing in real life in the cold conditions, you're not going to have full grip, are you? It's going to be a lot worse than wetter conditions, and even there we're struggling. Like, a lot of understeer of pretty much all these corners. But like, hear me out, like Suzuka does look really cool in these conditions. I mean, I'm not going to suggest any ideas for the F1 27 game here, but I'm just saying, snow would be an option, and that's a save and a half if I've ever seen one before. Yeah, I don't know if you could tell, but I was a little bit nervous on the right hand side of the screen there. That I don't know how we managed to save that, and that was me trying 130R flat pretty much, because obviously I don't have any wife and kids at home, so I mean, there's nothing really to lose here, isn't there? So yeah, that was quite the crazy first lap. And also, can we just talk about that frame rate going into the first corner on lap 1? The whole the whole field decided to slide off, and my PC just did not take it whatsoever. That was honestly, I think we went from about probably 200 frames to literally like 10 in one corner. That's another save, by the way. I don't know how many saves we've made so far, but it's just so difficult to control the car with the lack of grip, especially around this circuit as well. I mean, obviously you've got some other circuits you'll be able to, you know, control the car a little bit more easier, but Suzuka is just, there's another level. Like, even that as well, the same as what we did the lap previous, like, you know, just trying to be so gentle on the throttle around these parts of the circuit. Even there, like exactly where Carlos Sainz crashed in 2022, but obviously in wet conditions. So I mean, it's easily done, especially when the grip is this low, but yet like so much understeer going through these corners and just going wide. And yeah, but like I say, it's fun. And as we approach 130R on lap 2, I'm assuming I must have a wife and kids at home this time around, because I never took it flat out there. But after the first lap, I mean, I don't think it would be flat either way. It doesn't matter if you've got a wife and kids at home or you don't. But yeah, it's just so much fun to drive the F1 game in these conditions. I mean, if you're bored and you want something to do, then just set the track grip to low and just challenge yourself, and you'll get these type of conditions. You don't exactly need to mod all the textures and make it look all snowy. All you need to do is just download a low grip mod, or just try figuring out modding yourself. But yeah, I mean, can we just talk about there how I've just got a puncher by running over the curb? I didn't see any debris at all, but I mean, we've just got a puncher on the final straight there. That would have been a nightmare if the puncher completely blew out into 130R. That would have been a monumental crash. But I mean, we're just got to nurse at home here, because considering we've got a 20-second gap to the car behind, which is Hajar. And I think as well we need to speak about who's just won the race. Sergio Perez has just won the race for Cadillac, and we're going to come home in P2 to give Cadillac a 1-2. Quite crazy, to be fair. I mean, Hajar as well getting a podium for Red Bull, rounding off the top 3. But yeah, I mean, the gaps in that race was crazy. As we move over to Spa here with a great start going into the first corner, we've got to be very careful, because we know the grip is very low, and we're definitely not done that because we've just lost a bit of our front wing. So here's me yawning about being careful at the turn 1, and I've just damaged the front wing, so that's very, very handy. So I'm looking forward to going up Eau Rouge here. I wonder what's going to happen as we head up Eau Rouge. Is everybody going to make it through? Yes, they are, just about. There's just enough grip to get through Eau Rouge, actually. because I was going to say I was expecting a W Series type moment there going up into Eau Rouge with a lack of grip, but luckily the AI were smart enough to be able to save it up through Eau Rouge, but into Radion as well. I don't want to hear that in the comments, Eau Rouge and Radion. But yeah, Leclerc, or Hamilton, sorry. Hamilton there was definitely not able to save it through there, nor was Piastri. That's the second time Piastri's went off after the first sector at the beginning of the race. We've also went off the circuit there, and we've just lost a place to Norris, and I believe Colapinto just gave us a hit on the side of a car as well. I did feel it. Obviously you guys couldn't see it there, but I definitely felt it on my steering wheel when I was driving. I have no idea what Norris is doing to pull on here. He's absolutely drifting around the whole corner. We've went a little bit wide understeering, and Norris has just rejoined the circuit. We sense an opportunity here to go down the inside. We've sort of jinxed him a little bit. We've lost the rear end. Norris is off into the gravel. We've cut to the inside onto the grass, but Norris has still got the grip round outside somehow. I'm telling you, I think the AI have definitely got a little bit of advantage here because they're getting too much grip in this mod, because I tell you for a fact I'm trying to be as cautious as possible, and they're somehow still getting away. There's a car off there, and I believe it was Max Verstappen, which is a rare sight to see, but we've still got a good run on Norris here. This is for P5. We pull out to the outside, and well, the track grip doesn't allow us there, because I mean we've just lost it and we've lost it again. Going into Blanchimont, we've just hit the back of, I believe that was Colapinto or Gasly. We collided there. We just did an absolutely crazy save. As you can see there on the right hand side of the camera, I honestly, I've not a clue how we're not out of the race from that. We held the first one, and then the second one, I don't know, I think it was just lack of traction, trying to get up to speed, and then unfortunately Gasly was just there at the wrong moment. Two cars off on the left hand side there, and it was Russell and Leclerc, and we've actually caught up to Norris, and we're right onto the back of him at exactly the same point as we were on the previous lap. But unfortunately we didn't get the traction out of the corner this time to get close enough, but we are getting very close out here as we go through Blanchimont once again. We haven't lost the car this time, but due to our front wing damage we have lost a heap of time going through Blanchimont for the understeer, which is unfortunate going into the final few corners now. Taking it very cautiously. Norris is drifting all over the place, and so are we. The back end's going, everything's going in this with the lack of grip, and I have to say this is probably the most fun I've ever had on an F1 game, especially just with AI as well. And now as we're onto the Kemmel Straight, Russell has just absolutely shot past us there, deploying all our airs to try and keep up, but that Mercedes engine is down the road, and he's actually braked a little bit too late there. He's went a bit wide. Can we get any room to get past? No, because we've run a little bit wide there, and somehow the AI has got absolutely monumental grip to just pull away like that. The thing is, I'm not exactly being sensitive on the throttle. I'm trying to be as aggressive as I physically can be and smooth at the same time, but the AI are just way too OP because they are set to 110 as well. But there is opportunities, but yeah, the AI are definitely way too OP on 110% with this low grip mod. Leclerc has just flown past us there, but he's just done what Norris done on lap 1 and ran wide. We've slowed down a little bit. Can we get down inside? Yes, we can. It's very close between me and Leclerc, side by side here. Going into the next corner, we're going to brake a little bit earlier to try and get the cut back, but unfortunately we've run wide too. Leclerc has done well to defend that corner. I don't know how he managed to slow the car down, but he didn't there though. He ran into the gravel, but he really lost any time. I wonder if we can get a run on any of these cars here, which we can. Leclerc's went wide, there's a car off. That's Bottas. Our teammate Bottas has went off. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am driving as Sergio Perez for this race. We have done Bottas, so I've decided to drive as Perez this time round, and we've just had a horrible exit out of the section there, and we're probably not going to get close enough to get a run at Leclerc for P6. But you've got to remember as well, we do have a lot of wing damage, so I mean that does play a factor into our pace as well in this race. And going by the result there, I mean definitely crazy to say the least. Hadjar finishing third again. I mean, talk about consistency, but I mean Antonelli's won the race, but can we just talk about who finished in second? Yeah, Colapinto with a P2 there. That's one for the Argentinian fans. They'll be loving that one. And as now as we move over to Montreal, we're driving with the one and only Sir Lancelot. Yep, Lance Stroll. And you know what Stroll's like in wet conditions, or any conditions other than dry, he seems to drive like Senna. So can we replicate that in these conditions? We did with a great start, but we are struggling round the first corner to get round Russell. It's side by side, but I think we're just going to let him go into this next corner. AI are very struggling here. We are understeering like crazy, and as we get a good exit on Russell, it's side by side here, but we can't quite get him as we're sliding through, losing the back end and somehow saving it. And I believe Sainz behind us did exactly the same thing. In fact, he even tried to go for the overtake and we just slid into the path of him nearly there. So he actually, while he was sliding, we slid as well, but he had to brake and avoid us. But this time around, we've got Sergio Perez this time going past us into the final straight. We're going to try and tuck behind the car, get into the slipstream and try and get him back in the final few corners. We haven't done that. We've touched the grass, we've locked up, we've saved it. Perez has went over the sausage curb, so has many AI cars, but Perez has actually crashed out of the race. Russell was in the pits and so is Sainz as well. So we must have missed a lot of things behind, but Perez overtook us but outbraked himself into the final few corners, went over those sausage curbs and was just a sitting passenger from there. I did see ahead many AI cars were going off at the last corner as well, so we did a great job to somehow keep out of the wall there, but I mean, that was just crazy. As we move forward, we've now got the other volumes of Alex Albon shooting past us with the DRS open, but he's went a little bit wide. We've made the corner just, but Bottas sent a very late move into the corner there and actually compromised our run, and Albon managed to keep the position. I was thinking about a move into this next corner here, but unfortunately we went a bit too wide, and that's allowed Bottas to get down the inside there. He's got a bit of a damaged wing, no wonder from the side impact he gave to our car a few corners ago. It was side by side with Bottas there, but he's now going to get a good run on us here as he pulls to the left hand side. He's going to fly right past us. We're going to try and get back into the slipstream, deploy our airs, get a good tow going into the next corner. Can we try and go round the outside? Remember what happened the lap ago when we went side by side with a Cadillac? This time around Bottas was a bit more smarter than Perez and slowed the car down, and no damage was done there. I was actually worried we were going to have exactly the same incident in the second lap, but this time with a different Cadillac. That would have been very funny if that happened, because it was pretty much identical, the scenario there, me being on the outside. But I think this time Bottas was just smart enough to slow the car down after seeing what his teammate did the previous lap. Pinto there, by the way, trying to get past us down the inside, because we did make a little bit of a mistake into the first corner. We were nearly side by side with our teammate Fernando Alonso there, and I think I actually compromised his run, which allowed Pinto to get a run at us. And Pinto and Alonso behind, I believe, are actually having a close battle. Yes, they are. I don't think we're going to be close enough to get Bottas nor Albon here, but I mean, we're definitely under threat from Pinto and Alonso, because Pinto's just dived down the inside into the final hairpin here, but we should be able to get a good run on him down this straight. We've got plenty of airs to deploy. We haven't had a bad exit, luckily, because it is very difficult to get the traction down in these conditions. But I do believe Pinto, well, yes, he was behind us before the DRS detection point, which means he's now got DRS into the final straight. We can deploy our airs as much as we want, but we can't get close to the Alpine ahead. But due to that extra top speed, Pinto he's went too quick into the final few corners, and he's nearly went into the barriers as well, and he's allowed us to get through again and finish in P10. Wow. So there you go, guys. That is what you can do with the power of modding in the modern Formula 1 game. You might not be able to do as much like you could do many years ago, but you can still pull these type of things off, and it still makes the F1 game very fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. That's mostly going to be it for my bigger videos in 2025, and I just want to take a minute to thank you guys for the support you've given me this season. It has just been absolutely phenomenal, and it's great to see where the channel is at, and I genuinely cannot thank you guys enough. You honestly mean the absolute world to me, and I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. So once again, thank you so much. And I need to mention as well, we have big plans coming in 2026, so it's going to be a very, very exciting year, so let's see what happens there. Be sure to drop a sub as well to help me reach my current goal of 150,000 subscribers, and to never miss content like this, because we've got much more of it coming throughout this winter break and into the new season. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Take care now, and I'll see you in my next video. And also one more thing, I've seen a few of you guys comment about my wheel position for my Playseat. The only reason it is this high is because of where my monitor is currently placed. I'm going to be doing a big change in 2026, so I will bring it down then when my monitor's level. But I am not the size of Yuki Tsunoda, don't worry. I'm about 6 foot in real life. It's just I prefer driving that way, so yeah.